Hey, Raindrops. Yes. So look, before I get started, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button so you don't miss an episode. So I'm here with this chocolate beauty, Honey, who is one of the stars of Basketball Wives. She also is just everything. And one of the things that I want she and I to talk about is we need to get to know who she is, honey, because as fans of Basketball Wives, because y'all know I'm good to post me watching the show and kikiing doing clips. But anyways, without further ado, give it up for Hunty, the gorgeous darling Brooke Bailey.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Carlos, for having me. You are amazing. I love your show.
Thanks, boo.
You're welcome.
No, Brooke, I love you. Everyone knows that I'm a huge Basketball Wives fan. Did you know that?
I did know that. And I love that you support us. It's been an amazing season. Woo! A lot to talk about.
No, we have a lot to talk about. And thank you for acknowledging my support, because one of the reasons why I started this podcast is because as a Black man in this business, I felt like there's a lot of amazing shows starring Black women, Black men that don't get the same attention that other shows do, right?
I
I
agree.
feel like you women, and again, men in this case too, y'all don't get the same interviews requests. Y'all don't get the same conversations in the press. And one thing I wanted to do was be very truthful and honest with shows that I do watch, because I have a large fan base with a huge demographic that I want to expose to the world shows that they may not be watching. Like, girl, I be talking about Love After Lockup, and
Yes.
Brooke, the girls be like, I can't believe Carlos is talking about this show. I'm like, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
I love it. I love it. I love that show too.
Okay. We love the show. And what I do, I'll watch Basketball Wives, Brooke. Have you seen this? I'll post a video of me watching it, and all you hear is my cackle.
Yes, yes, I've seen that.
Girl.
I understand. And that is what most people who watch the show, they're like, girl, they get into it. It's like they know, they feel like they're there with us. And that, I love that. I love that.
Yes, no, I love it too. So let's get into you. I first discovered you. I worked at BET when I got my start in this business. And I was a production assistant. And my job was to, get videos to show my producers. And honey, when Wipe Me Down came on, Wipe Me Down, yes. And the first person on that screen, honey, was you. And you don't know this, but all the brothers at BET will watch that video and stop in their tracks and stare at the screen and be like, who is this? And obviously you've done tons of videos since then, but is music videos how you got your start in this business?
That is literally how I got my start. I was actually Smooth Magazine. No, Lowrider Magazine. No, it was Smooth first and then Lowrider. So what happened was I was walking down the street one day, and growing up, like my mom, had me like modeling, doing little things, but it was just like a hobby. It wasn't anything that I took serious or that I wanted to be an actress or anything like that. It was just like, my daughter's pretty. I'm going to put her in these pageants and, fashion shows. And so, but one day as an adult, I was walking down the street one day and a guy comes up to me and he's like, do you model? And this is LA. I'm originally from Los Angeles. So I'm like, how hard is it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this a serious question, And he's like, well, come to my studio. Let me do some test shots for you. Like, I work in the industry. I could plug you in different stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay. I took his number and I didn't take it serious. And I went home and I called my mom and I told my mom about it. And she was like, well, you never know. Just go and see and take somebody with you, you know? I did that. 2 weeks later, I was a whole spread in Smooth magazine. Right after that, I was on the cover of Lowrider with Ice Cube. 6 months after that, I was the token girl for Benny Boom. I did my first music video was with Janet Jackson and Beanie Man. I've worked with Kanye West, The Game, 50 Cent, Boosie, Webby. I mean, you name it, Snoop Dogg. I've worked with all Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, you know, up until as of recent. So it's like my resume is crazy. I was a Wild 'N Out girl for Nick Cannon. And then the first reality show that I did was Candy Girls in 2009.
Yes, I used to love that show. Sorry, I got excited.
Yes, and we came on ETV right after the Kardashians, and that was originally supposed to be about Wild 'N Out girls, and then it just transferred into something else. So we originally started, you know, doing castings as Wild 'N Out girls with that production team, and then it turned into like a video vixen, video model type show. We had our manager, and then it was all the girls. We lived together. And the crazy thing about it is when I started in this business, I was already a whole grown woman with 3 children.
Wow.
Yes. My babies were young. And so this was back in the time where we was getting paid as video girls. Like, we were getting money because the budget.
When you say getting, how good was the money? Are you able to say like an approximate dollar amount that you would get per video?
Yeah, I would be making anywhere from like 2,500 to 5,000 a shoot for a day. So back in 2006, as a video vixen, that's like amazing. You know, I was on Who's That Girl with Gloria Velez and Brittany Daly. Like, I was really a token brown girl. It was me, Bria Miles. So like the top Hype Williams, Gil Green, Benny Boom. I was always now on speed dial to do these videos with these superstars. And, you know, back then we didn't have a voice. The only voice we had were magazines. So I'm doing Black Men's Magazine, Smooth Magazine, King. I was on the cover of King, Lowrider. So, you know, it just blossomed into that. And then when I was a Wild 'N Out girl, I had a little bit more of a voice. And then Candy Girls, it was like, boom, I have a voice and people are getting to know me, but not really. And then basketball wise, in 2012, I had a very short stint. You know, I was kind of disposable and I really didn't understand reality TV because my first experience was so different with Candy Girls. It was like they were teaching us along the way. And with basketball wise, it was a different, like I was with some big top dogs and they knew what to do and I really didn't. So I had to learn my way. And then you don't really have a lot of people who help you, you know. So I've always tried to pride myself too in that area of helping young women who do come into the business, you know, that don't know how it really works. So, and I had to learn how to separate television from me being from the streets of South Central LA.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And by you being a beautiful brown girl, did you have to deal with, you know, dealing with how some people would describe it back in the day on the sets of videos, like some of these men, you know, being aggressive or being disrespectful or just hitting on you? Like, did you have to go through all of that in nauseam?
You know, it wasn't as bad as what I have heard others experience. So I definitely never downplay anyone else's experience.
Right.
And I think because I am a little, I'm an alpha female, that when I walk onto set, I never walk on timid. I always walk on with my chest out, you know, because you don't know what you're going to run into. And my era, it was kind of like light-skinned girls were like the popping thing, and then these brown girls coming in. So, and I say token Black girl, you know, brown girl, and that's probably not the correct terminology to use in this sensitive time that we live in right now. But that's exactly what it was, you know. So some women did have bad experiences, but I more so turned my presence into the homegirl presence, and not that
Yeah.
men didn't try to like flirt with me and, date me or see me on the side or whatever. All of that is there and it's in the business. It's a part of it. You're a pretty woman. You walking around in a bikini, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? That's the realistic part of it. But it's all about how you carry yourself and what boundaries you set for yourself in order to move forward. And I obviously did a good job of that because I was continued to, work over and over again.
Who did you date, Brooke?
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no.
Girl,
Listen,
because
I am so happy that I come from the era of no Instagram and Twitter. Woo, baby, because honey.
Talaboo. Listen, Brooke, let them know, honey, because this is
Yes.
this is our era. The early
Yes.
2000s was a time.
It was a time. Let me tell you, when I say that I had a ball, I was able to be a mom and still experience the things that I didn't experience because I was such a young mom. So it was like I had a ball, I had a time of my freaking life. I have experiences that I'm just going, take with me when I'm no longer here. But it was fun. It was fun, and it was all good fun, and it was all consensual fun. So,
Wait, Brooke, no shade. Did you have to sign some NDAs?
I didn't actually.
Ooh, you must have been known to be a good girl.
Listen, I never, ever, ever in my life, not one time, had to sign an NDA. And anyone that I was friends with or dated in the past, I do not have any bad blood. Anytime we see each other, it's always all love.
No, I don't know anybody who doesn't like you. Everybody likes you.
Thank you.
No, real talk. Again, we come from the same generation. When I was talking about being at BET, that was the early 2000s. And it was just, listen, I love social media. I love interacting with the world in a very limited way. But
yes.
But what I do miss is, listen, you were at these exclusive parties and not worrying about people having a phone out.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't think people understand, like, girl, I remember, listen up, Raindrops. I remember being a PA, a production assistant at BET. Girl, Kanye West had his birthday party at the Louis Vuitton store on Fifth Avenue, New York City.
Oh, wow.
Me and my homegirl snuck in the party. Because, I'm like, I work at BET. And they were asking for a title, because BET back then,
What? You had to have a title. Yes.
Let them know. It wasn't like, well, I got 100,000 followers. It was like, I said, I work at BET. Showed my ID. They said, come in. And what I miss about that era was the exclusivity.
Yes.
And you felt like if you were able to be amongst it, you belong. Nowadays, girl, child.
Anybody and everybody is in the mix. And you like, well, who is this? And what is that? And what is going on? I'm confused. It's no levels. It's like they just mushed everything together and here we are. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. No, but like I said, I've heard great things about you. I was a fan of Candy Girl. I was so mad that E did not bring it back. But then I was able to see you on Basketball Wives. How were you able to get on that show?
So actually, I had such a great relationship with the production company that I worked for Candy Girls. They referred me to the producers of Basketball Wives because they really felt like, because we didn't get another season, they felt like I was a star in my own right and that I had great stories to tell and that I would be a perfect fit for that world. And during that time, you know, I've dated basketball players in the NBA. So it was just a perfect fit, you know. And I also feel like because I didn't really understand the dynamics of things going into Basketball Wives the first time, that I didn't do myself a lot of justice for people to get to know me and my story and my life, you know? So now it's a totally different story. Like everything you see is what I actually go through. Like I believe in sharing my reality. You know, I'm not an actress. I know how to do a little improv, but I'm not an actress and my story is my life. So like, you know, well, I don't know if you're ready to move on to the current season.
No, I am. But before we do that, because you made your mark on Basketball Wives LA, and listen, in my humble opinion, that was the great era of you, Jackie, Drea, Sandy Carter.
Yes.
Like it was, do you know what I mean?
I agree.
It was like these force multipliers, as I call them. And I had Jackie on my podcast a month or two ago, and I asked her about the scene that now that I'm the king of reality TV, I look at now very differently because now I can see the harsh editing in the scene.
Yes.
But I talked about the scene where you and Jackie was, you know, got in each other's faces. And then all of a sudden we see you move and fade to black. And we see Jackie's half wig almost off her head. And we see you coming for more. So I said to Jackie, I said, it appears that, you know, you got mollywop, no shame.
Right.
And she said, no, honey, editing.
What? Of course she's going to say no. But as you could clearly see, her hair looked like a bird's nest at the ends of it. So, you know, we don't have to revisit it. I have learned to try to keep my hands to myself. And there is absolutely no way that Jackie beat me in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
Why did they cut a lot of it out, you think? Was it that bad?
Yes. When I get really upset, I black out, right? So it's really hard to bring me back when, and this is what I'm saying when I said earlier that I had to learn how to separate me being from the streets of South Central LA and being a fighter to reality TV. Because at that moment, I was very frustrated, not just that day, with the buildup of things that were happening behind the scenes and in front of the camera. And I didn't have clarity. So when I came to set that day, I already was pissed off, and my anger was not towards her, but she inserted herself in my business. So now you said trigger words to me that for me, if I was outside in the streets, I'm just swinging. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? You know? So you triggered me with your words, and then I just lost it. And then, of course, you know, we had cocktails prior to, so that added to it, you know, but we really were able to just rekindle our relationship. You know, it was no bad animosity. Like we really had a conversation in front of the camera and behind. Like that's over with. Like we both understood where it came from. She understood my frustrations, and she understood that she implemented herself in something that had nothing to do with her. You know, she's the meddler, so that's just what happened.
The thing about this show, and I want to get into this season now of Basketball Wives. First of all, it was a long season because y'all taped one a year ago, and that's just the way TV works now. They'll split. So let me explain this to the raindrops. What networks do nowadays, they will order like 20, 25 episodes of a season and split them in half and air one this year and the following year, although everything was taped around the same, you know, let's say 4 to 5 months. So what we're watching right now, right? Y'all taped almost a year ago.
Yes. Definitely. We started filming last February. So over a year ago.
Yeah. So that's what was going on. So one of the things that I know people have said about Basketball Wives is, why aren't we getting relationships or friendships where we see women supporting each other, or listen, we know fights and drama's going to happen, and we look, we all like that too. Stop lying, we love
Right.
it too.
Yes.
But they always felt that the cast was disjointed in terms of, in real life, will all of you guys really be hanging out? One thing about you, they call the three B's, right? Brooke, Brandy, and British, right?
Yes.
Like in
Yes.
real life, y'all really are friends.
In real life, British was at my house sleeping in my bed with me last night. Yes. In real life, British is really my friend. In real life, Brandy is really my friend. In real life, we share and support each other behind the scenes. And I was really in the midst of going through so much turmoil in my marriage. And the day that I actually found out, they actually called me that morning to joke with me on three-way, and I bust out in tears and I told them what happened. And from that point on, like, they were such an amazing backbone to me. You know, Jen was very supportive to me. I have a great relationship with Jen. You know, so we really do, and us building that relationship started from the show. It wasn't, it was just very organic. You know what I'm saying? It was just very organic. And we really do and still do support each other in the things that we go through in real life, you know? So they've been nothing less than amazing. And it's like, you know, you can know people for 2 months, 2 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. It's all about growth, where you're at in your life, and maybe the people that you've been around haven't grown to where you are yet. And then you get these new people who really show you a different type of love and loyalty and respect and support. And that's what I have fortunately been able to have with them.
Yeah. And it's funny because we talked about Jackie, and obviously you two had that moment years ago.
Right.
Past that, we even saw this season, there were minor moments, right, where it was a little contentious, but nothing too big. It was really her and Jennifer going through the most angst.
Right.
But then we saw that at the reunion, first of all, you have my complete condolences about your daughter. You know,
Thank you.
we're all, of course, you know, you have our sympathy, and we're still praying for you because, you know, I'm sure you're still dealing with that. So before I move on, I would like to ask you, when it comes to your daughter and how she passed recently, how were you able to continue to film and cope with that, especially knowing that you're on the show?
So that's a great question. What a lot of people don't know is that my daughter passed away September 25th, 2022, and my last day of work was September 26th, 2022. And I didn't show up to work. So I was completely wrapped. I was just still filming interviews. So when she passed away, the next day was supposed to be my last interview. And of course, obviously, I didn't go to work. And at the same time of me dealing with that, I also was dealing with my youngest son was having some legal issues. So I had to show up for court 2 days after he passed. After my daughter passed, I had to show up for him in court 2 days after that. So I was dealing with a lot of turmoil when it came to my children during that time, and everything that I was going through with my husband went out the freaking window because it didn't matter at that point. I also was fasting for 3 days, and the day that I got off my fast was the day that my daughter passed. So I thought that I was fasting about my decisions for my marriage and for my son's court date. And the Holy Spirit was whispering her name to me while I was fasting, but I was rejoicing. You know, I'm watching TD Jakes, like I'm praising God. I'm on my knees 3 days, sun up, sundown, no food. Like I was really into my Bible, everything. And I was supposed to do this a week before, and I didn't. And my mom was actually also fasting with me, and she started 2 days prior to me. And the Holy Spirit was whispering my daughter's name to me. And I kept saying, God, this is not about her, you know, but when I'm done with my fast, I'm going to tell her, you need to start back going to church. You know, you need to do this, you need to do that. And she actually called me on Saturday, and I usually don't answer my phone, from sun up to sundown while I'm fasting, but I answered for her. And we spoke, we had a great conversation. It's like a rule of thumb, something that me and my whole entire family does. Like, we always say, okay, I love you, I'll talk to you soon. So I'm really happy that I was able to have that, moment with her and that call with her, because the next morning, when my oldest son, a roommate, so he's the one who had to call and give us the news, which was really difficult for him and as a parent for me to know that he had to do. So he gave us the news, and I lost my mind. I don't really remember a full 10 days I lost. So when I realized that we were in October, it was because I went to go and sign the contract for my daughter's repass. And I asked the people that were in the room, I said, what's today's date? Because I'm signing and I have to put the date. And they said October. And that's when I realized that I don't know where I was for 10 days, And moving forward to now, I knew immediately that I'm a big advocate of therapy. I knew immediately that I needed to get into grief therapy. I knew immediately that I needed to change my lifestyle, my diet. I have a chef that comes and cooks clean meals for me, 5 meals or 10 meals for 5 days out of the week. I knew I needed to take care of my heart. I don't have health issues, but I knew that this could create that. I thank God for my sanity. The things that give me strength are building onto her legacy, my nonprofit that I'm doing in her name. Those things give me strength. She's came to me in my dreams, I don't know. Every day I wake up and I say, is this going to be the day that I lose my mind? Because you just don't know. Grief is very sneaky. It's a very sneaky emotion. You don't know when it's going to hit you. And, I just posted in my Instagram story a picture of Britney Spears when she had her mental break and she shaved her head.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this is what people would like to see publicly from me. And I do feel that way on the inside on a lot of days. But God has brought me through. Like, when I was fasting, I threw away sage. I was like, all I need is to be on my knees and in my Bible. Like, that's all I need. And this didn't have anything to do with my daughter at the time because she was still with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have so much clarity about, I'm a Christian. I've been raised in the church my whole life, and I'm not perfect, by all means, I'm not. But I know what my relationship is with the Lord, and I know that he is the only reason why I'm able to sit here today and have clear conversations and still have my mind and my sanity. And people say all the time, you're so strong, you're so strong. I'm really not, I'm really not. But one thing is that my daughter was stronger than me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there was a transfer of some of her energy with me. And that's how I know that she is with me. And the plan was always for her mother to win. And if I won, she's going to win. And I'm not going to stop that. I could have went down a rabbit hole and I could have just existed in life. But I decided to live because I know that that's what my daughter will want for me.
Absolutely. And listen, thank you for sharing that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I lost my mom a few years ago to breast cancer.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you for that. And I know exactly what you mean when you say you don't remember the days. I literally was a zombie.
Yeah.
You're like, I look back on it, and unfortunately, and this is not the right thing to do, but everybody grieves differently. Mm-hmm. I try to just make myself busy to not think about it. Mm-hmm. And you think that that's the way to go. And then I do not remember that time, which is strange. Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't remember it.
It's trauma brain. It's trauma.
Exactly. And then, you have all of this, this energy preparing for the funeral. You have all this energy. And then the moment that happens, the next day, you're depleted from the energy, and then the realization seeps in, and you're like, wait, and then people don't understand another grieving process happens.
Yeah.
Because you got all this adrenaline that's now gone away because the day has come for you to bury them. So listen, you have I'm gonna say something to you that I've said to myself, to my sisters, and someone said to me. You now have a permanent guardian angel who is watching over you. And she, as you've already admitted, she's in your dreams. She's going to continue to visit you in your dreams. And you're going to, if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, there's going to be random moments of smell, of sounds, of music that reminds you of her. And that's her way of speaking to you.
Yes. Oh, I'm 100% believe it. Like the signs are all there. I know she's with me. I know that she is at the right hand of God, but I know that she is with me. You know what I'm saying? I know that I can feel her presence with me. You know, it's sometimes I feel like, you know, life is not real. Like you kind of sit back and you're like, is this real? You know, like it just doesn't feel real all the time, and not like in a way of me losing my mind. It's just like, this is not the natural cycle of life, you know, for me, you know? So, some days it just doesn't feel real, you know, but I give myself grace. I allow myself to feel and go through all of the emotions that come with grief. So
no, do that. And there's no, and to my audience, there is no timetable on grief, and you grieve as long as you are feeling the emotion. And listen, I'll just say this, it never goes away. It gets better, but it never goes away. And you shouldn't try to force yourself to allow it to go away. So that's my advice to everybody dealing with that. Going back to the reunion, because first of all, y'all all look bomb.
Thank you.
All look bomb. Tamar did a great job hosting.
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
And what I loved about it, because no shade to other hosts, I don't like watching a host who doesn't watch the show or who's not invested in the show. So I was so pleased that Tamar knows the show, invested, and you could tell by the follow-up questions. One of the things that came out of that reunion that was surprising to all of us was obviously you and Jackie. The revelation that when your daughter did pass away, you were saying Jackie did not reach out in the way you thought she would, because Jackie always talks about sisterhood, and you know, she's sort of like the leader, if you will, because of the fact that she's been there, at least in LA, the longest or whatever.
Right.
She then went on social media and posted, as she called them, receipts of her texting you hearting them. What do you want to clear up about that so that you're able to, you know, say your piece? Because I'm pretty sure you don't want to use your daughter's passing as a storyline, because I know that's not you.
Yeah, it's not a storyline. It's my reality. And, you know, and like I said before, I'm on reality television, and there are things, and my daughter's death was so public, you know, her service was so public, like everything I opened up to the world because she is so loved. And I honestly felt the prayers and the support from the world when this happened. I felt so much peace coming over me because I knew that people were really in prayer for me. The one thing that I want to say is, before Jackie posted those receipts, I posted them as well. And I also tweeted and said that, I said, and again, and I added Jackie, and I said, she did send me a generic text message 2 days after my daughter passed. What you guys did not see on the reunion, there was a moment where I pulled my phone out and I'm sitting next to her with my phone in my hand, and we were discussing it. And I said, and after you sent that, you know, you just kept sending like a bunch of emojis or whatever. And prior to that, what people also don't know is that Jackie was calling my phone for months on a time, at least 2 to 3 times a week, chit chatting, girl talk. I love you, sis. She was there when the cameras were on, my husband and I and our relationship, you know, helping with that, always checking in, you know. So it's kind of like, if you could be there for the mess, then be there for the stress. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole thing. And I also explained on the reunion, you know, I brought this up. Yes, you sent me a text 2 days prior, but she brought my sister cousin, Tyler Renee, into it and said that she called and spoke to her, which was a complete lie. You did not. She also said at the reunion what they did not air was that she does not do funerals. I also posted the DM of her DMing my sister cousin, Tyler Renee, asking her to put her on the guest list. Now, yes, I posted that receipt. I still have the DM. I posted it several times. And so if you don't do funerals, why are you wasting your time, my family's time, who's trying to help orchestrate a guest list, because it was so overwhelming? You know, her memorial was freaking huge. We got hundreds of people in here, and we wanted to make sure that my personal family, my personal friends, castmates, you know, people that I work with are sitting in a certain area, and it's very uniformed, you know, and then it was open to the public. So they were able to sit, you know, wherever else. So all of those little things. And then she was sending messages through British and Brandy saying, you know, when you go to Brooke's house, let me know so that I can come too. You were sending these messages. Exactly. So it's more to the story. And there were a lot of things in the reunion that, you know, was edited, whatever. And that's fine. And that's why I'm like, I'm standing 10 toes down on what I'm saying, because it's more to the story. And she never showed up. And my thing with Jackie is that you're always meddling. You were there for me throughout my whole divorce situation. And when it came to my daughter, you sent a very generic text. And yes, as a friend, I did expect more. No one knows what to say, Carlos. And I am okay with that. I'm okay that if you say you're going to come to the service and you don't show up, and you woke up that morning and you felt like you couldn't do it, I'm okay with that. I am not projecting any anger for my daughter's passing onto the world. My husband caught the brunt of that. You know what I'm saying? He got all of my anger and my frustration. And I've been in therapy. I go every single week, and I have learned that this is no one else's fault. These are my feelings. I can't be upset because you're having a happy day and I'm not. You know, and I deal with that, and I learn how. I'm very transparent. I don't change the things that I say. And I'm also will hold myself accountable if I'm wrong about something. I have no problem with saying, you know what, I messed up. I apologize, and I was wrong for that. Jen sent me a text message. She explained to me why she would not be able to attend. And her text to me felt like a hug through the phone. I do not have a relationship with Malaysia. Malaysia sent me the most beautiful, heartfelt text message that felt like a hug through the phone. That was my point. It's like, I don't need you to buy me flowers. When I said that I have given my housekeeper so many vases and vases from all of the flowers, my whole entire house looked like a florist, you know? That wasn't the point. I don't need a rose. That wasn't it. Come sit next to me and don't say anything. Come give me a hug. Those are things that friends just do, in my opinion. That's what friendship is about. And we also discussed in the text that she posted and I posted, she said, if you need anything, reach out to me. At the reunion, while we were sitting on the couch, I know that she took her mother's death very, very difficult. And I asked her, I said, when people text you or calls you and said, if you need anything, call me. I said, how many of those people did you reach out to? She said, none of them. I said, exactly. When do you think I'm ever going to pick up the phone and call you and say, I need you to come here and feed me. I need you to come here and make sure I brush my teeth. I need you to come here and make sure I shower. I need you to, no one's doing that. But the people who were here, they got me out the bed and put me in the shower. They brushed my teeth for me. They drove me around and took me to everywhere I needed to go to sign and do everything I needed to do for my daughter's services. They made sure that I ate. They made sure that even if I was in my room crying and didn't want to be bothered, guess what? My living room was filled with people just here in the home with me. Those are the things that count. And that was the point that I was trying to get across to people. No one knows what to say. I said at the reunion, and even now, still today, I feel the same way. I have sounded so stupid over the years giving my condolences to people. I have sounded like an idiot. And I didn't know that until I lost my daughter and the things that people were saying to me. It's all a learning process.
Yeah.
It's learning. And I honestly, in that moment, I gave full instructions to production that no one was even to give me condolences on the day that we shot the reunion. I was not speaking about my daughter.
Yeah.
That was something that was on that. Like I said, I'm coming to work. This is my first time being around everyone. I said, I don't want anyone to say her name. Don't give me condolences. I'm trying to stay focused because I lost my daughter. Yes, but I still have other children. I still have to eat. I still have to pay bills. I still have to do what I have to do, you know? And when she was sitting there talking to Jen and talking about friendship, I got triggered and I literally had an anxiety attack. And, you know, you could see British kind of moved in because she felt my body trembling. And I just had to get that off my chest. And I honestly, until that moment, I didn't know how much it was bothering me because we are on the phone calling each other sisters and saying that we love each other. You're asking me to start a podcast with you. You're asking me when I'm coming to LA, let's do this together. All these things prior to my daughter passing, the week before. So then you just go silent. And that was hurtful for me. It was. And it's not that I'm worried about who's there and who's not there. I'm not worried about those things, but you're still sending message. You could have just went ghost and not said anything, and I probably would have been like, whatever. But you're sending messages through people to get to me, and I just felt like that was just very insensitive. It's a child.
Yeah, no, it is. And I'm one thing I'm glad you said is when it comes to death, there isn't one rule that we all must abide by, right? One thing I've learned with my mom's passing is everyone grieves differently. And you're right, everybody responds to it differently once you sort of know that. Again, like you, people said, do you need anything, Carlos? And I'm like, no. And I'm not going to pick up the phone and say, by the way, I need this. Because, you know, so I do agree with you there. So, you know, look, I'm somebody who also don't like to attend funerals unless it's somebody I had a deep relationship with, right? Which is why I understood Jackie there. But what's interesting though that you said is she asked for the information because she wanted to attend. So I see how all of this became such a big deal even after the reunion aired. Are you able to get past this with Jackie?
Let me tell you something. I am a totally different person than what I was prior to my daughter's passing. I handle things so different. That is something that in the moment I was very upset about. I'm so happy that I was able to get it off my chest. And now I'm able to move forward. I don't like that it played out the way that it did on the internet, but I was very surprised when the reunion aired and I saw her personal interview in her dressing room after we had our exchange on the stage of her saying, well, I can't bring her daughter back. What does she want, a flower? I'll get her a bouquet. Those things right there, that's why I said I'm gonna let God fix it, because if I do, I'm gonna end up in jail. You know what I'm saying? So
that hurt your feelings seeing that.
That to me was very disgusting, because it's like you doubled down on it. You didn't even go in your dressing room and say, okay, you know what? This is her child. Let me just, let's end this. Let's stop it here. You turned into a whole different person and you just kept going. And for you to say like, well, I can't bring her daughter back, like, bitch, let's let's not even play that game. This was a real moment for me. This was not television.
So it's
So,
yeah, and you know, look, I know we're not allowed to talk about a possible next season.
mhm.
But look, the show is fantastic, and I think we all can assume another season will happen. So look, I will say, because listen, you're coming back, obviously. You have to, and you are. Obviously, Jackie, Jen, and the rest are too. One person who said they're not coming back is Duffy. Why isn't Duffy coming? Brooke, this is real tea. And I'm gonna keep it all the way real. And I love me some Duffy too.
Uh-huh.
I really like Duffy this season. I thought Duffy, because listen, my opinion, the other seasons of Duffy, I liked her, but then I didn't, because her and Tammy, then I'm like, I think I'm on Tammy's side. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you know me, I'm always like, I don't know. As we all do as viewers, like I'm on her side today. Well, actually,
Right.
I'm on, you know, this season was Duffy. Girlfriend, I loved me some Duffy this season. I was like, I really liked, very sensible, outspoken in a very real way. Wasn't playing up for cameras, because I can spot a chick who wants some camera time.
Right.
Like those other girls who was on last season. Anyway,
Yeah.
so girl, bye.
Correct.
No shade.
Correct.
No shade. Okay. But I really like, why ain't Duffy coming back, girl? Did my girl Brandy kick her off? What's going on, sis?
No, she definitely did not. And that's something that you're really going to have to ask Duffy, because I really haven't even had a chance to have a conversation with her. I've had a lot of moving parts this last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to like sit down. You know, I wish her the best in whatever her endeavors are. I think that, you know, she's great television, you know, definitely. She's a great DJ, you know, she's a great mom. She has her whole family life going on. So honestly, I do not know the true reason of why she made that announcement. You know, I think we're all kind of processing a whole lot of things this week. So
did you find out on Instagram like we did, or you knew before?
a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
Do you want Malaysia back on the show?
I think that Malaysia is amazing on the show. You know, I think that just like all of us, like, come on, we all get in the hot seat, okay? Like
not to cut you off, Malaysia, you're talking to reality with the king, and I'm the king of reality. Listen, Malaysia, you're fantastic for the show. You have made some iconic moments.
Yes.
There's not one reality star who escapes having a season where someone comes for them. And people still show up. Malaysia, if you want to say, let me take a break this season because I can't deal with all of this plus my real life, I get it, and mental health is important.
Yes.
Malaysia, we need you back next season, sis, because but Brooke, are you like me in terms of like, no, Malaysia, we're all in the hot seat at least one season. Let this be a season and move on.
I said it on the show. I said, look, hey, here we are. This is our reality. We all get in the hot seat. We all have to share and talk about uncomfortable things. You think that I wanted to come on TV and talk about my cheating husband? Like, nah, that's not something that I wanted to share with the whole world, but it's my reality. And I'm like, hey, here we are. And this is who I am. I'm very like, never embarrassed. I don't care. This is a part of life, and it has helped me to grow and to see what my next steps are in life, you know, and it grew me up in a lot of areas in my life. Even the comments mean nothing to me. Like, I have the thickest skin. I'm back from Video Vixen days, and we were called the worst of things, okay? So
come on,
none of those things bother me. You know, I use my platform for what it needs to be used for. And I feel like Malaysia, like you said, is great television. I do feel like your mental health comes first. And that's why a lot of people are even confused about me. Like, how are you even able to, by the grace of God and working, like you said early on, putting yourself into work and being busy, it helps you. I have had weeks where I just lay in the bed, cry, depressed, I'm funky, musty, not brushing my teeth. And I feel like, what are you doing? What do you are dwindling away. So pouring into things like work, your family, your beauty, yourself, working out, eating better, all of those things help. Malaysia should come back. Take your break. Do what you need to do for you and your children. Come back to your show and do your job, because
Amen,
she had iconic moments. Yes.
Yes. Amen to that. We want it. And listen, now that Jen is checking the girls, I want to see. When I say, I be like, Jen is like, I am sick and tired and sick of y'all thinking I'm going to don't you? Let me ask you this. I'm going to move on. When you're, I say to you, I love this show. When you're in the moment watching Jen versus Jackie, are you like me where I'll look at the screen and be like, I'm proud of you, bitch. You better work, Jen. Like, I'm just happy to see Jen stand up because that's the Jen that I know.
I absolutely love this for her. Like, don't be a doormat to none of these castmates. Like, stand up. And I feel like, of course, there's Shawnee, there's Evelyn, there's Tammy, other women who, yes, if they were still here, they would be able to boss up and say the same thing. None of you guys would be sitting here on this couch if it wasn't for me. No matter what I've done in life, I've been on reality TV before, but this platform of Basketball Wives, Jen is one of the originals. And I understand Jackie's standpoint of I'm the original LA, but before LA, there was Miami, baby. Do not forget. Do not forget.
No shade. Thank you, Shawnee, Evelyn, Jennifer, Susie, Royce.
Yes.
And
yes.
Tabby, bitch.
Yes. Thank you. Seriously, you have to pay homage sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so Brooke, if you were Shawnee O'Neal and you were asked to create the All-Stars of Basketball Wives, name me 6 women. 6, only 6. The last time I asked Jackie gave me 12 people. And I said, Jackie, you name it everybody. And half of these girls don't belong on the All-Star list, but that's whatever. So now I got to dwindle it down to 6. Including yourself. You know what? We'll do 7, including yourself. So 6.
Okay, so 7.
Name me 6 All-Star Basketball Wives who you would love to be on an All-Star show with.
Okay, so me, I'm 7. Well, I'm 1.
Right.
And then it would be Brandy, Evelyn, Jen, British, Tammy. Oh, who's my number 6?
One more left.
My number 6 would be, I like the Govons. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bitch!
I like the Govons. You know what I'm saying?
Look. Only you and I know why that's so controversial. But anyways,
I had to say it, but I think that is good TV. I think it's good TV.
Everyone knows I love Jackie.
I do
love
too.
Jackie, and I'm always gonna ride for Jackie.
Do.
I know you still do. Listen, I know that you and Jackie will get past this, so I'm not tripping. I love me some Jackie. Jackie, you did start LA, but I'm gonna have to add Gloria Gavon with you, bitch, because
I'm trying to tell you.
No, with Gloria, listen, when she clocked all those girls in Miami, and Shawnee and her tank top and peacock cut, Jen and Evelyn, they walked Gloria to her white production vehicle and slammed when Shawnee slammed that car door. I said, like, Gloria ain't scared of nobody. Because think about this, we're from the hood. You don't walk in front of your ops.
No.
Because they could easily.
Yes, they got you from the back.
Gloria didn't care. She said, "Ooh, it's a nice day outside," and walked in. Shawnee slammed that door. The next thing we know, she was teleported to LA, and Gloria, bitch. So, Jackie, we're going to have to get Gloria her props too, sis.
I have to. I really have to. I think that she is an amazing television star. Like, reality TV is her thing. It comes easy. And I think with that cast, it's so many relationships and so much history that it could just be spicy.
Yes. Okay. Last question for you. Speaking of spicy, not Ice Spice, but the other one that's in a song with her, the queen, honey, who I love, Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
So I've always known, because I'm also cool with Ra Ali.
Okay.
You know, so I've known Ra for years. I know that you and Nicki have been friends for a very long time.
Yes.
This isn't anything new. So when I saw, first of all, not only did a picture get posted that broke the internet, we saw y'all on Instagram. I'm like, wait a second. Now look here, Nicki. I'm gonna need you to make some appearances, sis, on BBW. But anyways, talk to me about your friendship with Nicki, because everybody thinks Nicki's this one person or she's that. Talk to me about your friendship with her and who is the real Nicki.
Let me tell you something about the queen. She is an amazing friend. She is an amazing mother. She is an amazing wife. She is an amazing employer. Like, she really wears so many hats. And this is way beyond. We know she's an amazing artist, like, period.
Yes, honey.
The pen game, crazy. Okay? Crazy. She's beautiful on the inside and the out. What people fail to realize is that she is still a human being. She is Nicki Minaj. She is Onika. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's still a human being. She wears a lot of hats, and she has stress just like we have stress on a day-to-day basis. You know, her life is very glamorized and beautiful, and people always expect her to show up at this certain, standard. But she is also from the hood, and she is her, and that is the fun part about it. It's like, that's the fun part about it. It's like, she is so down to earth and so easy. Let me tell you, this woman, when my daughter passed away, this woman, the way that she came through for my family and I, on a whole nother level, I'm going to share a very part of an intimate conversation that we had the day that we took the photos at the Louis Vuitton store. We went to dinner afterwards, and we were talking. And she said to me, she was like, "I've been wanting to do this with you. I just didn't know how. I didn't know if you were ready." Like, her heart. And I had to explain to her, and I'm going to explain this to the world. People need to understand, well, at least for me, what I appreciate is the normalcy. Be normal. I need the normalcy. The normalcy helps to bring me joy. It helps to let me know that, life, I'm still living. I still need to have the normalcy of my friendships, of my family. She poured into me so much. She is a freaking icon. She took the time to pour into me. When I say the flowers, decorations, what she offered to help with my family, from her team, to take the stress off of us, I can never repay that. The conversations, the hugs, the joy that she has helped bring. It's like, and I never compare friendships, relationships, or what people are doing in any capacity, because I appreciate it all. I appreciate a text message. I appreciate it all when I know that it's coming from a really good place, you know? And she's amazing. Like, we have all grown. Like, I've seen her growth over the years. She's seen mine. I love her to pieces and she loves me and I can feel it. And the vibes are good. You know, we were alive, we joking, you know, we having a good time. But I told her, I said, this last week, I said, I didn't know how much I needed this. And she said, I didn't know how much I needed it. So it's like we get to pour into each other. It's just beautiful. Like having people, British coming to sleep in my bed with me last night. It was like, she's in town. I've been ripping and running. She's been ripping and running. And she's like, I don't care. I'm going to stay an extra day. She was supposed to leave yesterday. She's like, I'm going to stay an extra day just because I haven't seen you yet. She came, I made her some tacos. We got into bed. We went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? We didn't talk about much. It's just present sometimes.
Yes.
You know? So Brandy is always on my phone, uplifting me, praying for me. Like, I want to say this, please, to every single person out there in the world who is watching this or is going to see this. If you have prayed for my family and if you have sent me a DM, I love you and I appreciate it. My thought process has changed so much. The way I deal with things has changed so much. The gangster in me is never gonna go nowhere because that's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? And if I believe I'm right in something, then I believe I'm right. And everybody doesn't have to agree with me, and I'm okay with that. But I feel the love and I feel the prayers, and please don't ever stop. Because like you said, Carlos, grief is for a lifetime. I'm just learning how to live with it. But I'm moving forward to learn my new normalcy, you know, in my everyday life. So yeah, me and Nicki, we listening to gospel music. Like, we get into
I know it. That's right.
She gets me together. She gets me together. So, and when she doesn't even know she's getting me together, you know, and then I'll bust out in tears, and then she'll bust out in tears, and then we'll bust out in laughter. You know, it's what we need. But this is what I do with my girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? And my male friends and my family. I have the best village in the world. The best village. My father lost his oldest son, my oldest brother, when I was in elementary school. My soon-to-be ex-husband lost his oldest daughter, you know, a little over 10 years ago. These are traumas that you really can't understand unless you experience it. And I hope that people don't have to. But I'm thankful that you have given me this platform to be able to come and share my story, and for people to understand that I know I'm not always perfect and right about everything, but I am allowed to feel the way that I feel and grieve the way that I grieve. And that's just that, you know. And I don't want to, I'm never gonna do anything where I'm not holding my daughter's name in queen status, because that's exactly what she is, you know.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And listen, you're beyond welcome. I thank you for agreeing to do it. I wanted to make sure you had a safe space to express yourself without interruption or judgment. And speaking to somebody who understands this business, but also just is, like I said, a huge fan of yours. I adore you. I love you.
I love you.
Okay, I'm about to DM you my phone number, girl. So
yes,
you can keep in touch. And I'm gonna have to set you. Are you dating anybody, or do you want me to set you up? Do you want an NBA player, a rapper, a bus driver? What?
The rapper and the bus driver. You know where I'm at right now. Listen, I don't know what life is going to bring to me. I don't, right? I don't know. I don't plan anymore, because the plans that I had for my life, I literally realized that is not realistic, you know? So I don't really plan. I do like 6-month goals, and then I don't do like these whole 5-year plans. And where I'm at, like, I am so healed from what I went through. Not my daughter. I'm so healed for what I went through in my relationship. I'm in such a good place. I am so happy. I love myself. I know it has nothing to do with me. Those are his own issues, you know. And not that he's not a great person. We all just grow and experience things at different times, you know, and I'm okay with that. And I'm just, you know, I'm just floating through life, you know. I'm focused on me. And I just know one thing, that anyone who is in my life, man or woman, whatever it's going to be, I come prepared. I'm not teaching nobody nothing. Okay. Come
Okay.
prepared. Do some therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm working on me. You need to be working on you so that we can grow, you know, in healthy places. I don't have time for no red flags.
Yes, as Nicki said, no red flags, baby. We don't want that.
Period.
We want some rich sex. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And sorry, British, I'm gonna find her man and kick you out the bed, sis. But don't be mad. It'll be so, Brooke, thank you for hopping on this. Let the world know where they can find you, follow you, and support you, babe.
Yeah, so you can find almost all of my social media is Brooke, Brooke. People leave out the E, Bailey, BAILEYINC. Also, don't forget to please check out KNB Inc. Life. That's Kayla Nicole Bailey. KNBINC Life, LIFE. I am so happy to announce that we have gotten amazing donations thus far. I am planning a huge brunch to actually like kick it off and go live with our website. Everything is up. You can read stories. I've blogged on there. I've told a lot of my story on there. It's knbinc.life is the website. You know, I have multiple stores. You could click the link in my Instagram bio and you can find whatever you need about me, honey. I even have my daughter's service is there for people to watch. I have my daughter's, her obituary is a book. It's not an obituary, it's a book. So you can also click that and you can look at that for people who weren't able to get a hard copy. Listen, I am about just peace, love, and happiness. And, you know, I know what I do for a living. So y'all know I'm going to bring what I need to bring when I need to bring it.
You can't say this, and I'm not confirming it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Looking forward to seeing you on another season of Basketball Wives. And bring it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love you, boo.
Love you too.